Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Beer Blather 166. False flags. And there were three! Just in case you haven't heard any of those things in a while. And this is, of course, Saul Montes-Bradley, the largest human repository of useless information from Florida. And right there, you see that guy with the beanie and the white beard? That's my friend Thomas Wictor from California, the only living expert in World War I flamethrower. And, well, what can I say? Just about anything else you can think of. So, Thomas, how are you doing today?
Oh, well, I found something on my front. I have a fence around my property, and I found this in the front, inside the fence.
Ooh. I hope it's not your Mexican neighbors.
It could be anything. Whoops. Okay. I was going to say he's got a hell of an underbite, but in reality, he's got a much bigger problem than an underbite, doesn't he?
I would say so.
This is made of plastic. I've never seen a plastic ventriloquist doll before, and it can't be made to work. I think. Yeah. Okay. You've got this string that you're supposed to pull, but
but the body is not there. You cannot stick your hand up its ass.
The body isn't there, and it's a disaster. So on second thought, yeah, it probably is from my neighbors. I don't know. It's an absolute nightmare. So of course I decided to keep it. I'll put it in my curio cabinet along with all the other nightmares I keep in there. There we go. Okay, now his jaw fits. Let's see.
Excellent.
I can't make him talk though. So
pity. You can put him next to Biden in the freak show.
Well, actually, this is sort of the kind of generic social media woman look you're getting now. They get the cheek fillers, or even cheek implants. They have the Botox forehead. They have a little tiny nose, and they have big fat plump lips. And
yes,
it's eerie how generic that look has become. And I don't get it at all. When you go back a few years before all this happened, I thought women were a lot more attractive. Women, say, in their 30s, early 40s, that sort of thing, who looked like mature adult women and who weren't just. I read somewhere that you're supposed to. It's recommended. Don't know by who. You get your first facelift at the age of 23.
Who's the fucking psychopath who came up with that shit?
Plastic surgeons who want to make a lot of money. I don't know.
Jesus.
But okay, you start having facelifts at 23, then
you end up like Nancy Pelosi at 35.
Well, what happens is that your skin gets pulled so tight that it's paper thin. So somebody can just put their finger right through your skin. I don't know. It's eerie. I'm amazed every day at the things I hear and see. So that's sort of why I'm there's something. It's a trend, of course, a social media trend where they're calling on the asteroid to come and destroy the planet because XYZ has happened. I don't want the planet destroyed. I want to see what's going to happen.
No, I just want to see Sacramento destroyed.
I just want to see the world as it is, say, 20 years from now. Hopefully, they've made serious advances in gerontology, so that when I'm 80, I won't be this complete basket case. So
You sure you want that?
yeah.
Because if they make those advances, that means that 20 years from now, when you're not a complete basket case, Nancy Pigliosi will still be around and probably running for office.
It's okay. Politics aren't the be all and end all of my life. So she can do whatever she wants. I highly doubt she'll be here in 20 years, but you never know.
Yep. By the way, from the I got a comment here from one of our chat participants, Poster Index. Was that dummy Howdy Doody or Charlie McCarthy?
Charlie McCarthy had he had a monocle, and Howdy Doody had red hair and freckles. This is just sort of a creepy, generic plastic. I don't see any manufacturer's marks on it, so it looks pretty old. It looks like it's probably a few decades old. I have no idea. It looks like somebody took a bite out of somebody with giant buck teeth took a bite out of the edge there. Somebody also gave it a little scarf, so I think if the scarf came with the head, it may have been a cowboy.
That would be Howdy Doody.
Howdy Doody had red hair and freckles. So, as you can see, this guy is not a redhead.
No red hair.
Yep. So, no, I've never liked ventriloquist dolls. I mean, okay, there's a few modern acts. There's some stand-up comedian who does Ahmed the Dead Terrorist, and there's another guy.
Dunham.
He's got
Jeff Dunham.
He's got is it Dunham also who has the old man puppet with the folded arms?
Well, Walter is Jeff Dunham, and Biden was Obama's puppet. Both of them look alike. By the way, I don't know if you've seen, but Dunham has come up with Walter with aviator glasses.
Yeah.
Biden, it's amazing.
Yep.
It's amazing. It's way too funny.
Well, see, the problem with Biden is that you can't parody him. We're at the point now. I mean, I saw a quote from Mayorkas, the head of the DHS, saying that the end of Title 42 isn't a problem because the border is secure. I mean, this is, again, I keep going back to this because at the time it was funny. In the movie Mars Attacks, the Martians are running after people, killing them, and they're holding a voice translator yelling, "Do not run, we are your friends." And here's Mayorkas telling us the border is secure, and all we have to do is turn on the news, and you see this lava flow of humanity crossing the border. Yep. So, I don't know.
Have you seen pictures of the center in Darien? In the Panama Isthmus?
I may have.
Okay, because Darien is an area. The many times that I did South America on foot, on motorcycle, Darien was not passable. Period. End of story. You had to take a boat from Colombia to some port up north, maybe Colon, because you couldn't do it by land. Now you can. And in that inhospitable jungle shit, they now have a kind of camp. And there's shitload of Chinese arriving by ship and staging there to walk to the American border. I'm talking several thousand. And nobody, but the border is secure. Everything is peachy. By the time those people come to the border, they're going to walk in. They're not going to get an appointment for a judge to figure out their status in say about 18 years.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's why I say you can't parody this stuff. It's beyond parody. I mean, this is why I did see the Jeff Dunham thing as Walter, but it's too close to the truth. Like I could just watch the real Biden, and you can't parody Biden. Biden Biden doesn't know.
Yeah, he is a parody.
Yeah. Kamala has been taken off the border because the border is secure, and now she's being put in charge of the program to regulate artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Again,
It-
you can't parody it.
you have natural imbecility in charge of artificial intelligence. It's gonna work. Pitch it wanted.
Yeah. No, it's the whole thing is just. But again, okay, I have conversations with my brother all the time. The system is working as it should. The voters are getting exactly what they vote for. So this is why I'm, I watch a lot of YouTube commentary, and it's always, oh my God, look what's happening now. Look what's happening now. But this is the voters voting for this stuff. This is the voters voting for. Okay, are you following what's happening in St. Louis with the circuit attorney? The circuit attorney.
No.
The circuit attorney is being, or she actually resigned finally.
Yeah, the one that was the let me see, just to put myself in place. The Soros financed district attorney that just got her ass kicked.
She was Soros financed, and the state attorney general initiated proceedings to remove her from office because the whole time she was in office, over 10,000 violent crime cases had to be dropped because either her office would not give the defense discovery or she wouldn't show up for trial. So it was just blatant sabotage, blatant dereliction of duty. And he had this pie chart. In the whole time she had been circuit attorney, less than 4% of crimes had been prosecuted. And of those 4% that were prosecuted, there were no real punishments given out. And these
30 days probation.
Yeah. And then finally, she said that in her resignation letter, she said the strongest weapon she has to fight this is to resign. And it's like, yes, you're like the Russians. The Russians just issued a voluntary evacuation for their occupied territories closest to Ukraine. And this voluntary evacuation is mandatory. So, okay, very Russian. And it's also very Russian to say that your greatest weapon in fighting the unjust charges against you is to resign. So, but she was voted for. I mean, everybody is voting for this.
Well, not to come to the rescue of the American voter, which is proven in the last two elections of any importance to be completely out of their fucking minds. Who the hell votes for district attorney?
Well, you vote for the people who are promising to.
No. From a thing, I'm not talking you or me. Nobody gives a shit. Those are the races that when people get to the polling booth, they don't know what names are there. They don't know one from the other, and they don't give a shit. And 90% don't even bother to mark it.
That's the voters' fault. That's not the
system. I know. I'm talking about a flaw in our system that goes beyond fraudulent or not.
The flaw in the system is the voters.
Yeah.
And we can't bring back laws saying that only people with property can vote or whatever. So we go back to the quote by H.L. Mencken that democracy is a theory that the common people know what they want, deserve to get it good and hard.
Good and hard.
And they're getting it good and hard now. And okay, we've got let's see, in New York City, a crazy guy on the subway train who was threatening to kill people ended up getting killed by a man using a chokehold. Then we had a transsexual Walgreens thief who tried to kill the armed security guard, so she shot him in self-defense. And now, that's in San Francisco. So now Walgreens is under fire. So again, these are places that are voting for this. So
Yep.
um,
And in Chicago, there are all of these problems. So the cops come out and says the merchants can help by putting bulletproof glass in their counters. What the fuck?
well, okay, I've seen stores. Okay, you know when you sometimes go to drugstores, certain medications are behind plastic,
Yeah.
cupboards that you have to ask
Yep.
for help.
Or certain electronics sometimes, yes.
More and more stores are putting all their products behind
Yeah.
those. And another who else? Somebody else left Portland. One of the big ones, Safeway, I think, something like that.
Safeway.
Yeah.
Safeway closed up shop and left.
Yeah. So Portland is going to be. I mean, they're going back to the dark ages. It's going to take them decades to come out of this, if they ever do. I mean, Detroit never came out of it.
It is, if you will, what's happening to Russia.
Exactly.
As anybody who knew how to do anything or had the wherewithal or the capital is getting the fuck out. Russia's economy just went 30 years back in time.
Yeah. No.
Can you imagine a country that is frozen because of its inability to get good quality? I'm having a brain fart. Ball bearings?
Yeah.
I mean, what the fuck is this?
The Ukrainians just shot down Russia's hypersonic missile that everybody thought could not be intercepted. And guess what system they used to intercept it? They used the Patriot.
One shot.
Yeah, they used the Patriot. And here's the thing behind hypersonic missiles. A hypersonic missile it's only hypersonic in flight. And when it makes its terminal dive, it has to slow down so that it can orient itself on the target. And the Patriot is designed only to hit missiles on their terminal dive.
Yeah. I spoke with a guy at Fort Campbell today, and I commented on this, and he says, "Who the fuck said that they couldn't be stopped? The Russians said so. Would you believe anything they say? Of course we can shoot them down blindfolded."
The Russians said it, and then all these people who are still insisting to this day that Russia is a superpower and that their technology is something to be feared.
Oh yeah, you know what I fear about the Russian technology?
No,
nothing. What the fuck is there to fear?
Well, see, I'll never understand the mindset of Vladimir Putin, who held two contradictory ideas simultaneously. One was that he would never have to build up his armed forces to a point where they could take on NATO, because all Russia had to do was flex its muscles and make threats, and the West would just automatically cave in. But two, he wanted to build up his military to a standard where it could take on NATO. Now, the reason he was unable to do that is because he personally stole all the money that was earmarked to making the ramshackle Russian military into a first world armed force. So there's no connection between actions and consequences in this man's head.
Zero.
Even today, okay, there is. You were going to show a video that.
Well, the first one that I have slotted to show, but we're going to do that. If we're going to do that, we're going to leave YouTube,
Yes.
because even though it is, and I'm gonna say this before we do it, this is fair use.
Of course.
This is the type of use of material that is protected by copyright law, of using it for an educational purpose. Incidentally, I'm not usurping anything. I'm showing where it comes from, and we are on screen as well, thereby modifying the original image. And if anybody wants to see the entire thing, they can go to the source. This is called fair use. Everybody does it. In
What's
YouBoob,
by law?
in YouBoob, all you need is a little shit who says, copyright violation, and they shut you down. They shut the program down. They suspend it essentially, and then you have to argue with them for a month, and then they say, "Oh, yeah, you're right. This is for use," and they put it back up. What
Well,
the
see,
fuck for? I don't know.
YouTube is also like Vladimir Putin in that the platform is hemorrhaging money like never before, and yet it's cracking down even more on content creators. So, you know, those two
Yeah,
things, they're
the,
driving people away from their platform, even though they're also complaining that they're panicking because the platform is failing financially.
of course, and they're gonna end up with Kwanzaa celebrations, drag queen shows, and anime,
Yeah.
because those are the only things they never cancel. But anyway, so you people in YouBoob, you have down there in the description the ability to join us in Odysee and continue to see this program, and God forbid, maybe even subscribe and stay over here. And it's night. We're gonna do the adult thing now. Good night, YouBoob.